You all are not going to believe this, but I found this trail and I'm actually supposed to be going to eat with a friend, but I got the time mixed up. So I found this trail and I'm like, let me pull over and record at the trail. So I am in a random spot. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. So there, you might hear cars, you might hear whatever. The weather is dreary. Looks like it's going to rain. If it starts raining on me, I will stop this video and I will leave. I will get in my car and I will drive off. So I'm excited that I found this random trail because I needed to record today and the weather is nice outside. We have like a light breeze, light whatever this is. I don't know how the camera is actually going to look with what's happening in the background. And I have one more setting that I wanted to try on my camera. So we'll see how this turns out, but I am going to record today. So for those of you that are new here, this is the February challenge where I'm recording a video every day about whatever content pops up in my analytics. So I am super excited about that. Also, I've realized that I like standing when I'm outside, but I like sitting when I'm inside. I don't know if that's because when I'm outside, like I always want to be on alert and I always want to be able to move. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've learned. I'm also trying to shield the wind. So I am going to stand this way and hope that I can shield the wind. So if my hair starts to go everywhere, my hair is just going to go everywhere. I've also noticed, because I live in Texas, that all Texas backgrounds kind of look like this right now. They are starving for water. They are starving for, I don't know, but they just all look kind of like dead looking. So I don't know. If I was really like, anyways, nobody wants to hear that story. I was gonna say, if I was really creative, I would like go stand in the woods and make this like really dynamic and dramatic, but I'm not that creative, so I'm not going to do that. So there's that. So let me talk about these things. So in my analytics this time, also what I did before I left my house, I actually screenshotted what the things were, what I took a screenshot of the items so that when I got somewhere, I could open it up and go back and look at the things. So I was super proud of myself because, you know, usually I come out here with my iPad and I'm like, I don't have service. It's like, how many times can you do the same thing over and over and like expect a different result? So this time I am more prepared and I did a better job, and here's a car. And yes, I am, you know what's actually weird in 2024? Nobody thinks it's weird when they see random people talking to a camera. Everyone just assumes they're doing a TikTok video. So it's cool. Also, if you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all those things. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. So let me look at my options. Okay. Today's options. Ooh, Sooner football podcast. I don't really have anything to say right now about Oklahoma, so I don't know about that. Fantasy football rankings. Interesting. Football predictions today. Okay, my football predictions for today are absolutely nothing because nothing is happening right now. Like this is the period where like nothing is happening. Like if you're a football fan, you're trying to figure out like what you're doing, what you're going to do with your time, what you're going to do next. The draft is coming up and things like that, but like nothing's really going on. So there's that. Who won the college football game last night? I feel like that keeps coming up. No one won because there wasn't a game. So there's that. The Reality Revolution podcast. That's interesting. I don't know what that is. Michigan football recruiting. All right, so if I'm going to talk about anything, it's going to be, there's no football predictions. There's no who won the college football game. There's fantasy football is not happening. Football predictions is kind of interesting. I guess I could predict some football. That would be, I don't know. You know what? I'm going to talk about Michigan football recruiting. So for those of you that don't know, I was a huge Michigan fan growing up. I had a Michigan starter jacket, the blue, is it the maize blue? The maize blue with the yellow. I had a Michigan starter jacket. I thought I was going to go to Michigan. I still adore the Michigan fight song. Like, so I hardly ever cheer against Michigan. Like, I don't think there's any time where I've ever cheered against Michigan besides when Texas played Michigan. Like, other than that, I hardly ever cheer against Michigan, ever. And now they have a black coach. Like, I'm probably never going to cheer against them again unless they play my team because I love Michigan. So there's that. I might even know the fight song, but that's weird. I think the Michigan fight song is like the fight song. Like that's called, like college football to me is the Michigan fight song. So anyways, okay, I'll just leave that where it's at. I also had a UNLV starter jacket. How did my parents know those were the schools? Anyways, so I am just rambling. Okay, so Michigan football recruiting. So what I know about Michigan football recruiting, because again, because I like Michigan, I kind of pay attention to them. Like, don't tell anybody that, but I kind of pay attention to them. So I know what Michigan has with when it comes to recruiting. So that's kind of weird. I know that they are like top 10 If I had to guess, I think they're like 7th or 8th. I'm very invested in this. Okay. So I know that Michigan had a really good recruiting class. Obviously, Bryce Underwood, he's a star. I was hoping that they would go steal him from LSU. I actually won a bet that Bryce Underwood was going to decommit from LSU and go to Michigan. Like, I won a bet that way. Now, listen, I know that a lot had to happen for that to happen, but I knew in my heart that Bryce Underwood was going to go to Michigan, and I don't know Bryce at all, but I listened to a couple of his interviews and I just felt like LSU wasn't his vibe. However, I will tell you, shout out to LSU, because LSU as a college town, Baton Rouge, legit. If you've never been to Baton Rouge, LSU, legit, especially during football season, especially if you can go see the live Tiger. Anyways, this isn't about LSU. So Michigan, hold on. There's the birds. Michigan football recruiting. Okay, so the thing I like about Michigan football recruiting is that they are now using money. Like, they have decided, it's getting a little chilly, they have decided that they are going to use money and they're going to go recruit talent and spend money. I love that for Michigan, because I feel like, who doesn't, like, if you're around Michigan or from Michigan or know anything about football, like, who wouldn't want to go play football at the University of Michigan? There is a bus that is about to come and probably go past me. So if you see a bus, you won't see it, but you will hear it. Just know it's coming. So Michigan football. So they got Bryce Underwood, which was great. That was a bus. I also think Michigan, like, on signing day, early signing day, Michigan did a really good job of, like, getting random things here and there. Like, I felt like all the kids that, like, weren't sure where they were going to go, that actually did it old school and, like, had options and, like, decided on signing day where they were going to go. I feel like Michigan kept winning those kids. Like, I feel like their recruiting did a really good job of being like, okay, let's go out and see what we need. You see who we are, you see what we need, you see where we're struggling. Like, you can make an impact here. And so that's what happened. There is a ton of chaos happening. So I don't know if you can hear the bird, but there's a bird behind me. There's a car that is going to come that's going to interfere with the bus. There's a dad yelling at his kids because they're not listening and they're running in the street. And the bus just almost hit the kids, and there's a car. It's a mess. So sorry for the background, but Michigan recruiting did a really good job on early signing day, going and getting the guys that, I'm going to stop talking so the bus can go around. And hi. And all the kids are looking at me on the bus. So this is kind of awkward, but you know what? It just kind of is what it is. It's also funny that when people see a camera, like, I don't know if they're thinking like I'm reporting something live for somebody important, or if they think I'm like a content creator, if they think I'm creating a TikTok. Like, you never know what people think. So there's that. And also, because I don't have the cover on my mic, I don't know what you were able to hear and how loud that was. Anyways, I'll see when I listen to this back. So, okay, Michigan recruiting. So Michigan did a good job. Wait, is that Michigan? Michigan football recruiting. Michigan did a really good job with early signing day, going and get guys that were still not sure where they were going to go, right? So the people that still had like 3 options or 4 options that were kind of winding down, like, Michigan won out on a lot of those athletes, which is tremendous. The other thing Michigan did really well is, I feel like all the guys that were kind of still out there that didn't know where they were going to go and they were waiting to February to make their decision, Michigan did a really good job of going and getting those athletes as well. So Michigan recruiting, in my opinion, for them to like not be good last year, they did a really good job in recruiting, in my opinion. I feel like when you get somebody like Bryce Underwood to come to your school, to decommit from LSU, I'm now turning this way because the wind's picking up. And like I said, I don't have my wind cover, so you might hear the wind. But in order for them to, I'm sorry, anytime I like turn around and I look out and see this, like, it's gorgeous. I love the outdoors. I love nature. I love, like, if I could just like go build like a little hut and sit over there and have like air conditioner and a patio and food, and like I could just live there and just like stare out, I would do it. I would do it. But there's probably, I don't know, there's probably animals. Anyways, nobody's here for me to talk about how much I love nature. So anyways, Michigan recruiting. Michigan recruiting did a really good job of flipping people, getting people on signing day. And last year, their defense was legit, because their defense is usually legit. And I think they did a really good job. And I will be honest and say, I know that Michigan is losing a lot of people to the draft. Like, I know they're losing probably like 2 defensive tackles, and some guys on defense. But I really think that the season they had last year is going to help them this year because their offensive line, now I know they've had some guys from the offensive line enter the portal. I know that that happened, but I do think that they are primed to have a really good season this year. And I'm going to keep an eye out on Michigan this year. Like Texas hasn't played Michigan this year. Texas plays Ohio State this year. We play Michigan, I believe, in 2027 again, unless we meet in the playoffs. We play them again in 2027. And so can you imagine like a Arch Manning, Bryce Underwood, like Arch Manning year 4, Bryce Underwood year 3 or something like that. Like that would do numbers. But who knows? These kids, who knows what these kids are going to do. But I am now officially distracted and I could not help it because it is so gorgeous and I wish that I was standing over there. So if you have watched any of my videos on my journey, you will know that this background looks very familiar. I won't tell you why, but this background has turned into being my favorite area to record. And the more I come out here, the more I literally want to figure out a way to come out here all the time and record. The other thing is too, is I've noticed when I record outside, I don't talk as, it doesn't sound as loud as it does when I'm inside. And I think it's just because I'm outside. I'm outside, and so my voice can be picked up by trees and wind and all those different things. So I hope that the wind has stopped blowing, but I can tell that it hasn't because my hair is blowing. So anyways, Michigan football recruiting. This is what happens when I come outside. Maybe this is the real reason why I don't record outside, is because I will get distracted and start looking at the freaking trees and want to be one with nature that I cannot record. I can't stay focused. So I think Michigan... I did it again. I think Michigan did a great job recruiting. I am looking forward to seeing the season that Michigan has this year. And I hope that my Texas Longhorns, hook 'em, can do Michigan a favor and beat Ohio State at the beginning of the season. Like, can you imagine Texas beating Ohio State at the beginning of the year? If Arch Manning beats Ohio State at the beginning of the year, you guys are going to be exhausted from hearing about Texas. I really hope that Arch Manning gets the Patrick Mahomes treatment this year. I'm not going to lie. Listen, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win these football games. Anyways, I'm going to leave this here by just saying I think Michigan football did a great job at recruiting. I am looking forward to watching Michigan play football this year. I am also looking forward to see how Shamar Moore plays, or how Shamar Moore looks. I'm excited to see Bryce Underwood this year. I'm excited to see what the offensive line looks like this year, and I'm very excited to see just the offense. I'm super excited to see the offense. And for Shamar Moore's sake, and for my Michigan fandom internally that I usually don't tell people about, the internal feelings that I have about Michigan, I am hoping that they have a good season. Anyways, I will end this video here on Michigan football recruiting. So that is that. And I hope that it doesn't look too bad in this setting, because honestly it looks so gorgeous out here. But I will stop rambling and I will see you in my next video. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to leave me a comment and let me know what you think about Michigan football recruiting, and let me tell you who you're kind of excited to see play this year if you make it to the end of this video. I'll see you in my next video. It's starting to sprinkle.